Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare Rama,
Hare
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 Rama,
Krishna
Rama
Chaitanya,
Hare Hare.
Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त। हरे कृष्ण everyone. So today is Thursday, 23rd of November. It is Kartika Mahasari Damodara Masa, Shukla Paksham and Ekadasi. So today it is Uttana Ekadasi. It has got many names. So Hari Bodhani Ekadasi, Devatani Ekadasi, and Prabodhani Ekadasi. So like this number of names. About this Ekadashi. So there is a one little pastime, but there are so many glories, and also for every minute pious activity, there is a pious credits, how one ends, and also similarly in the opposite direction as well. So there are so total of this Haribodhini Ekadashi, Uttana Ekadashi, everything is of glories. So I'm just skipping off those glories so one can understand they will accumulate unlimited pious credits and at the end they will go to Vaikuntha. That is the pious thing. Otherwise, they will go into opposite direction, going to. So there is a tiny pastime within that Uttana Ekadasi. So this is from the Hari Bhakti Vilasa from the Skanda Purana. Ekadasyam papadhattam deepam prajwala mushika manusyam dhullabham papya paramam gatim avapyasya. So this is about a pastime of mushika or a female mouse. One rat had once burnt a ghee lamp which was offered by someone else on Ekadashi day. By doing so, she achieved a rarely achievable human form and at last attained the topmost destination. Srila Sanatana Goswami writes in this Digdarshini Tika, in this verse, it is found that it is possible to attain the results of directly offering a lamp on Ekadashi. The history of the mouse is very famous in the Padma Purana, Kartika Mahatmya. In a temple of Lord Vishnu, there was a mouse living who was eating the ghee from the extinguished ghee lamps which had been offered by others to him. One day, when she felt hungry to eat ghee, she tried to eat the ghee from a lamp which was not yet extinguished. While eating ghee from the lamp, the cotton wick got stuck in her teeth. Since the ghee wick had a flame, the mouse started jumping in front of the Lord's deity form and thus died due to fire. But Lord Sri Vishnu accepted the jumping of that mouse with a lit ghee wick in her mouth as his arati. In the end, he gave her liberation, the topmost destination. Glories of remaining awake on the night of Prabodhini Ekadasi. So the sins accumulated in thousands of previous births burn like a mass of cotton for someone who remains awake during the Prabodhini Ekadasi. Even if guilty of the most heinous sins such as killing a Brahmana or sage, a person shakes away his sins by remaining awake in Vishnu's honor throughout the Prabodhani Ekadasi. All his mental, vocal, and physical sins will be washed away by Sri Govinda. Results that are difficult to obtain even with great yajnas such as Ashwamedha effortlessly accrue to those who remain awake during the Prabodhini Ekadasi. The Lord should be taken out on a grand Rathayatra festival on this day after awakening him from his sleep for the 4 months of Chaturmasya, that is from the Sayana Ekadasi, when the Lord had taken rest on the milk ocean. This festival has been elaborately described in the Padma Purana. So there are further glories of Uttana Ekadasi. So kindly I shall share it later on, or you can read from the iskandizeti.com. So and also there is another event. It is the disappearance day of Srila Gaura Kishore Dasa Babaji. So one has to, if someone is fasting through the Ekadashi, so they will have to do half day fast at least. So there are a few lines about Gaurakishore Dasa Babaji. So there is a practical example set for us by Gaurakishore Dasa Babaji Maharaja, who used to sit on the side of a latrine to chant Hare Krishna. Many materialistic persons used to come and bother him and disturb his daily routine of chanting. So to avoid their company, he used to sit by the side of a latrine, where materialistic persons would not go because of the filth and obnoxious smell. However, Gaurakeshwar Dasa Babaji Maharaja was so great that he was accepted as the spiritual master of such a great personality as His Divine Grace Om Vishnupada Srimad Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaja. The conclusion is that Lord Shiva behaved in his own way to avoid materialistic persons who might disturb him in his prosecution of devotional service. So there is a नमो गौरकिशोराय साक्षात् वैराग्यमूर्तये विप्रलम्भरसम्भोधे पदाम्बुजायते नमः. Padambujayate namaha. So I offer my respectful obeisances unto Srila Gaura Kishoradasa Babaji Maharaja, the spiritual master of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, who is renunciation personified. He is always merged in a feeling of separation and intense love of Krishna. There is further glories of Gauri Kishore Dasa Babaji. I will share it in the WhatsApp group. Okay, that's all from the events perspective. So we shall quickly enter into our daily Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. So in the Srimad Bhagavatam, so the Goswami has been speaking to Saunakadi sages, and so after speaking to Saunakadi sages, he said, Upavarnitam etadvaha punyam parikshitam maya vasudeva katopetam akyanam yad apruchyata. O Saunakadi sages, you asked me to speak about Parikshit. I have spoken. Everything are related to Vasudeva Katopetam. They are related to Vasudeva Kata. And after that, Yayaha Kata Bhagavataha Kataniya Gurukarmanaha Gunakarma Shreyaha Kumbihi Samsevyasta Buboshubihi. So one has to hear this Krishna Kata which are related to Krishna very attentively, who are looking for their own well-being. So Buboshubihi. So likewise, Suta Goswami said, and then he stopped there. And then further, now they turn to the Saunakaji sages. They are going to ask further. So they are saying, Oh Suta Goswami, you have described very beautiful. So you are so kind and merciful. You are a Saumya, very grave personality. And you have described all the glories of Krishna very beautifully. And it is appearing like a nectar because we are born within this material world who are meant to die, and it is appearing this Krishna Katha like a nectar to us. It is reviving our lives. Likewise, Saunakadi sages are speaking to Suda Goswami. So we are in the first canto, chapter 18, verse number 11. Roshaya Vuchuhu Suta Jiva Samah Saumya Shashwatihi Vishidam Yashaha Yastvam Shamshasi Krishnasya Majjanam Amrutam Hinaha. Sota Jiva Samah Saumya. O Suta Goswami, Jiva Samaha, you live for so many years. O Suta Goswami, long living. So there are kind of a blessings to Sudha Goswami. You live for longer period. Just like a Balarama has given the blessing of Roma Harshana passed on to the Sudha Goswami. His son is going to be living for longer. So that Balarama's blessings are also there to Sudha Goswami. Sota Jiva Samah Saumya Shashvatihi Vishidam Yashaha. And you have explained Shashvatihi, they are eternal pastimes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Yastam Shamshisi Krishnasya, they are very, very beautiful. They are very beautiful, speaking nicely of Lord Sri Krishna. Yastam Shamshisi Krishnasya, you are glorifying very beautifully. And Machanam Amrutam Hinaha, and they are appearing Machanam. So those who are about to die, who takes birth in this material world, they're going to die. Jatasya Duhu, Jatasya Hidruvo Mrutyuhu, Dhruvam Janma Mrutasya cha. Whoever takes birth and they have to die. Whoever dies, they have to take birth. That is the nature of this material world. Machanam Amrutam Hinaha. And the hearing of Krishna Katha is like a eternity of life. And Naha for us. So likewise, Saunakadi sages are telling to Sudha Goswami to encourage to speak more and more about Krishna Katha. So Swata Jiva Samah Saumya Shashvatihi Vishidam Yashaha Yastam Shamshisi Krishnasya Machanam Amrutam Hinaha. So translation for this verse is, the good sages said, O grave Sutta Goswami, may you live many years and have eternal fame, for you are speaking very nicely about the activities of Lord Krishna, the personality of Godhead. This is just like nectar forever for mortal beings like us. Purport by Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. When we hear about the transcendental qualities and activities of the personality of Godhead, we may always remember what has been spoken by the Lord Himself in the Bhagavad Gita 4.9. That is, Janmam. This is his acts, even when he acts in human society, are all transcendental. For they are all accentuated by the spiritual energy of the Lord, which is distinguished from his material energy. As stated in the Bhagavad Gita, such acts are called divyam. This means that he does not act or take his birth like an ordinary living being under the custody of material energy, nor is his body material or changeable like that of ordinary living beings. And one who understands this fact, either from the Lord or from authorized sources, he is not reborn after leaving the present material body. Such an enlightened soul is admitted into the spiritual realm of the Lord and engages in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. Therefore, the more we hear about the transcendental activities of the Lord, as they are stated in the Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, the more we can know about his transcendental nature and thus make definite progress on the path back to Godhead. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So in this purport, Prabhupada is explaining about the Janma Karma Chame Divyam Evam Yo Veti Tatpataha Tyaktva Deham Punarjanma Naiti Mam Veti Swarjuna. So that is Prabhupada is explaining about in this purport and in this context of Saunakadi sages. And also Krishna also mentions in this in the Bhagavad Gita that I appear by my internal potency. Sambhavami Atmamaya Prakritim Swama Avastabhya Prakritim Swam Avastabhya Sambhavami Atmamaya. So these are the verses that Krishna says that I appear by my internal potency. It is not possible to understand for the ordinary people. Avajananti mamudha manushim tanumashtam param bhavam adhananto mama bhuta maheshwaram. They think that I appear just like ordinary people, but they are foolish. Avajananti mamudaha, they are foolish people. And here all the glories of Krishna, it is a kind of a nectar. And Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. So whenever the reflections, once again, whatever the past times it happens, it would go back to and link to what Krishna says. And that means we have to take shelter of lotus feet of Krishna. That is the reflections of all Srimad Bhagavatam. Every moment it remembers us, just bringing what is said in the Bhagavad Gita, and at the end, what is Sarva Dharman Parityaja, and only Krishna is the shelter. And he is the source of all the pastimes in the Bhagavatam and everything else. Okay, so thus make definite progress on the path back to Godhead. And one has to hear from the Lord or from the authorized sources. So that is very beautiful purport. That is from Srimad Bhagavatam. So likewise, Sutta Goswami, Saunakadi sages are saying to Sutta Goswami. Sotajiva samah saumya shashvatihi vishidam yashah yastam shamshisi krishnasya matyanam amritam hinaha. It is just like a nectar for mortal beings like us. Okay, that is from Srimad Bhagavatam. We shall quickly enter into Srila Prabhupada's daily letter. So today letter to Hare Nama, November 6th, 1969, London. Can I request any dear devotees to read this letter? Okay, I shall read it then. My dear Hare Nama, please accept my blessings. I beg to thank you very much for your letter dated November 3rd, 1969, and have noted the contents with pleasure. For some time, I have been anxious to hear from you, and now that you have written, I am encouraged to learn of your nice activities in Colorado. I am pleased also that Bhavananda, Palika Dasi, and Prabhavati Dasi are all working so sincerely and steadfastly to promote this Sankirtana movement. And surely Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will bestow his full blessings upon all of you. This is a qualification of activities in Krishna consciousness. That if one renders even a small amount of sincere devotional service, Krishna becomes obligated to elevate such person. And what to speak of one whose entire life and soul has been dedicated to Krishna service. So continue to push on as you are now doing, and as far as possible distribute our books and magazines. Now that our press is ready in Boston, we have more than 1 dozen books which are ready to be printed. So with your help, I wish to overflood the marketplaces with our literatures. Now people are reading all kinds of nonsense books, and thus their reading capacity is helping to pave their way through the circles of birth and death. If they will simply take to reading this transcendental literature we are presenting, the same reading capacity will elevate them to the highest perfectional of spiritual life. So this is very important task we are doing, and all of you push forward in Colorado with increased enthusiasm. Here in London, things are going on nicely, and at all of our meetings, hundreds of people join in with us in the chanting and dancing. Similarly, from all of our centers, we are getting very good reports, and I think that before long your center will develop into a very important center for our movement. Please offer my blessings to the others. I hope this will meet you all in good health. Your ever well wisher, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Can I request any reflections or any takeaway points from this letter, dear devotees?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
My takeaway point is, Prabhu, that even a little bit of devotion, honest devotional service can take us to so far that we don't have to come back from Srila Prabhupada's letter. Hari Bol, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. Any other points?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
My takeaway is Prabhupada emphasizing the reading, like Prabhupada is saying the same ability reading, the material things can entangle ourselves again in the birth and death cycle. Whereas when we read these literatures, transcendental literatures, it can help us to get out of this material entanglement. So the importance of reading Prabhupada is mentioning. So that is my takeaway, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Very beautiful point, Mataji. So people, anyway, they read either news or the transcendental scriptures. This news are which are dead. They are just only valid for 1 day or one week or 1 month or 1 year. Maybe tax news, that news, this news, and someone is being doing some kind of, these are dead news. They don't have any value after certain period, and it doesn't have any meaning to our soul from the eternity point of view. So when we read these scriptural injunctions, it directly we feel the reflection, and that sound, transcendental sound vibrations, it will take the soul, just like when the rocket is that experiment is done, it will burn it, and then it will take the satellite into the space orbit, and then the bottom part will be burned to ashes and it will fall down. Similarly, the human body is also like that. And when we engage ourselves in the devotional service and with proper spiritual knowledge and guidance and reading the scriptures, then the soul will be elevated into the Vaikuntha planets before the body falls down. So very beautifully says here, highest perfection of spiritual life. This is very important task. Thank you, Mataji. Any other points? Okay, so, and from the announcement point of view, so today evening at 8 p.m. we have got a Krishna Katha with Ram Nakshya Prabhuji and Shyam Gudivada Prabhuji. And on Saturday, we are going to read at the same time at 6:50 Gajendra Moksha story, pastimes from the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 8, chapters 2, 3, and 4. And evening on Saturday, we have got regular Bhagavad Gita Sangha. That's all announcement side from me. And dear devotees, if you have got any updates or anything else you wanted to share on Krishna consciousness or any events are going on, so kindly share.
Hare Krishna. Today is also starting Bhishma Panchaka. It's starting today.
Yes, Mataji, Bhishma Panchaka. So this is also, if one has not observed any pious activity throughout the year, Kartika Mantha is the best. And out of Kartik month also, if anyone has not observed, then once again, the last 5 days are the best to perform, to acquire the same merit. So one has to follow the regular, as per the scriptural injunctions mentioned in the iskondesert.com, or also there are from so many Puranic references as well for it. Whoever is following the first day, it is Gomaya, second day cow urine, third day milk, fourth day yogurt, fifth day Panchagavya. So these are the ones are prescribed, but it is very difficult for us to follow the level 1. And the level 2 is kind of eating fruits that can be followed within the last 5 days, kind of Ekadashi Prasadam for the last 5 days. That can be easily achievable. Yeah, and these 5 days are completely for Bhishma Dev. So this is our Krishna says that these five days are dedicated for especially to the Bhishma Deva. Okay, so that is also about Bhishma Panchaka, and there is also Dinashrestha Mataji shared some article about it. It is also in the iskandejt.com. Okay, thank you, Meena Mataji. Anything else, dear devotees, you wanted to say or ask? Okay, if there are no further updates, then we shall conclude and continue with further japa. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः।
अनंत कोटि वैष्णव की जय, प्रभुपाद की जय।
Hare Krishna consciously, everyone. Hare Krishna. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद।